Hello, everybody. Welcome to this session of this webinar, this fireside session. And with me today, we're going to be having some of our, CEOs and tech professionals, developers as well. So I'm going to welcome them, and I'm here with Jerry. Hello, Jerry. I'm here also with
Hello.
Michael, and
Hey
here
guys.
with Everest. Yeah.
Hi guys.
So these are, I'm just gonna let your names show. So yeah, great. So here we have CEOs, and I'm gonna let everyone to introduce themselves. So who's gonna go first? I mean, just tell us about your name, tell us your name and what you do, basically. So Everest,
Okay.
can you go first?
Let me go first.
All right, sure. I was going to tell Jerry to go for it, but thank you very much for having me here.
Right.
My name is Everest Emmanuel. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of Link. Basically, we are building Web3 cross-border payments infrastructure for Africa, making it very easy for individuals and businesses to just basically, move money across the globe using, leveraging DeFi and traditional real infrastructure. So really great to hear talk about AI. That's not naturally my thing, but let's just see how that goes. Thank you very much.
I mean, it's tech, so one way or the other, you're gonna be affected, either in a positive or in a negative way. All right, thank you, Everest. Michael, let's hear from you.
Yeah, so simple. My name is Michael Shobwale, as you can see. I'm a software developer. So basically just into, writing code, making code better. I also do some mobile development on the side and, make websites. I mostly proficient in, JavaScript, C Sharp, PHP, and all of that. So I'm here just to let's talk about AI and how it's going to take most of our jobs.
Nice to have you on the panel.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, and lastly, Jerry.
Okay. Hello, guys. I'm Jeremiah Godwin. I am the co-founder and CEO of Stranded. So basically, we are an edtech platform that addresses the real problem of interactive and personalized learning for students and teachers in Africa. So let's talk about AI and its impact on the world.
Okay, so as the name of this fireside session is the rise of AI. So we've seen how AI just exploded in the past few months. I mean, AI has always been there, but I say it got into the hands of uh, laymen and laymen. I mean, it's on their fingertips right now, and it's doing wonders. So uh, we are seeing the negative impact, we're seeing positive impact. So some people have seen a lot of things have gone on with jobs being taken, some people getting more jobs. So I mean, let's hear from each and every one of you. What do you think? How is this going to benefit us? How is it going to, and what do we need to do basically? How is it going to benefit us? And for those whose jobs are at stake, what do they need to do? Who's going to go first?
Okay. Um, Honestly, I feel like you said it's been here for the longest. Um, Definitely everything that you know a force of good always has a way of affecting a group of people. But one thing I've been able to understand is even in the tech space, even aside from AI, is really innovating or dying, right? So it's either you innovate or you die on space. So honestly, it has a lot of advantages. Across across various spheres of tech. You're talking about fintech. You're talking about you know bringing or integrating AI bots or AI systems that are able to help you manage payroll, help you understand credit scores. So it has a lot of advantages, really helping you understand the customer, knowing how to, leverage it across management cutting platforms. AI can be really helpful in edtech platforms. I remember when ChatGPT just came out, I was literally buzzing Jerry's phone every time. I had a personal use case, and I thought I was like, "Whoa, Jerry! If you leverage this here and just charge them this moment, you would take check out of the market, right?" So you're just thinking about
I'm
taking
telling
about
you,
3,000 people's jobs away with one platform from Africa. So I think honestly, it's a tool for good. Obviously, used the wrong way, the wrong reasons. But there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of ways that it can be leveraged across various things to actually help life get easier. So that's what tech has always done. So when people say the AI or ChatGPT has come take our jobs, I'm like, jobs have been going for years. You get
I'm
the
telling
fintech
you.
platform you launched took jobs from bankers. The edtech platform you launched took jobs from teachers, right? So it's not new. So I still stay at my core at saying we need to innovate, right? Either you innovate or you die. So even across various fields, you don't need to be a tech bro. You don't need to probably even do tech. Really understanding where you're at on your career path to understand, okay, what are the things that it can look. When you tell people this thing, they're like, rest. Like, why do I need to think about what 10 years can look like in the world? But we've seen the trend. It's just hitting everybody because now it's getting really serious. People heard about the financial crisis as fiction and myth stories, but now you're seeing stories that are very similar to that right in your adulthood, lifetime. So I think, really standing on innovating or dying. But to me, AI is more of a source of force for good than evil. Obviously, wrong people can use it for doing wrong things. But I think that's the beauty of tech, really finding ways to mitigate those risks.
Wow, nice. Thank you. That was really insightful. Michael,
Yeah,
looks like you have something to say.
I'm going to. But first of all, AI is definitely going to take a lot of jobs, like a lot of people's jobs. Like we cannot deny that that's going to happen. In fact, it's already happening. You can just take an example of like self-driving cars. Like that already has taken the jobs of drivers that we used to have like back in the day, because not many people can drive long distances, but this AI, it can drive you, avoid accidents even when you're tired. So you're already taking away the jobs of drivers in that sense. But I think I think the people's jobs are quite secure, like programmers, in the sense that when you write code or when you make a program, you're going to need people to actually maintain what has been written. Basically, the AI, of course, the AI can write itself. Basically, that's what AI is, right? It's just writing the code, as it's running. But you still need people to manage, and of course, we will need higher level programmers. That means we cannot just depend on programming by mistake when it comes to AI. You have to know what you are doing. You don't just assume it works. You have to. So now
Mm.
AI is going to sort of make people either work harder or go out with the market. So that's what me I have to say.
Wow, nice. Great.
Come on.
I mean,
So
you mentioned about how, I mean, we need higher level programmers. Well, AI doesn't work by itself. I mean, it learns by itself, but it still
yeah,
needs somebody to put in data into AI for it
into
to
it.
work.
Yeah,
So those are the kind
Yeah,
of people we need right now.
yeah.
yeah, and obviously we definitely that's what we will need. But there are some little tasks that you may need to employ someone to be doing. Maybe, I don't know, scraping a website or something. I mean, write a code.
Oh,
You just write one line of text, and you don't need to employ
that,
someone to do something like
that's
that.
gone. Those jobs are gone. All right, Jerry.
All right. So I mean, they've both spoken about how AI can take jobs away, but how I see it, I think it's going to force people to transform, how business is being done and how people work also, right? And I think that's one thing people are not really paying attention to. For example, when we had the days of the social media, when people were just launching Facebook, IG, no one saw how it would connect the world more and make people more of an entrepreneur, right? So it will take away jobs, but I think for the purpose of transforming how people work, how people learn and how people even run businesses. Just what I'm saying. I don't. I see AI as a tool that will unlock the very human nature and capabilities that even human beings themselves did not think was possible. And that's why I think it's really good for the world. You get, although it has its bad side, but I think really paying attention to how things can transform is where the most money is going to be made, and the most like and the next billionaires are going to also come out from. Right. And also, like, for example, when I see people like making millions of dollars and opening big companies out of just knowing how to market online on the internet. People basically created their own media giant out of just knowing how to sell other products on the internet. I think that's similar to the way AI will be used. I think there will be people that will come out that will become so good at leveraging AI than other people. And those will open new ventures, open new businesses, and new capabilities. And how I see it also is how the world is becoming more one. So therefore, there's going to be the boundary of, you know, Nigeria or Ghana or the US is going to cut, like remove completely. And it's going to people are going to be selling. It happens now, but I think with AI, the world is going to be more interconnected, right? And that's what more powerful AI can be, basically. So I think it's in transformation, even people losing their jobs and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, there's a little bit of disagreement. I'm going to disagree with what you said right now. So yeah,
It
it
makes
has
it
its good
fun. It makes
parts.
it fun. Yeah.
It has its good parts, but a few years ago, I mean, if you look at the percentage of people that are gonna benefit from the AI compared to those who have lost their jobs, who don't know AI, who don't know how to use these things, it's
Yeah.
it's about, I can say, 1% of the world, 1% of the tech world. Yeah. So a few years ago, we are talking about digital transformation, how we need to close the skills gap in Europe. And I mean, Africa has even been way back. So we're talking about closing the skills gap in Europe. And a lot of organizations were now teaching, lots of courses have come up for people to learn. And we're not done. We've tried, yes, tech has tried to reduce the skills gap, but the way tech is growing is evolving faster than people can catch up with it. It's not even growing in a geometric quantum leap. Like, it just took people by surprise. So, and at this point, that's what the organization is now saying, that okay, they no longer need these people, so they need to lay them off. They need to work on they need to make more profit. So people had to go. I mean, Google laid off 12,000. We heard about Amazon, we heard about Twitter, we heard about Spotify. They're all laying off people. Microsoft, so yeah, it's growing very fast, and in my opinion, what we need, oh well, that's the next topic. That's the next question I'm gonna ask us. So uh, before we get into that, let me see. So yeah. Okay, we've seen the how tech giants are laying off people, right? And I said, with this growth of AI, having tech skills alone is not enough, because these people that were laid off were obviously tech people. So what's the way forward with this? What do you advise?
Allow me jump in here and just be like, first of all, like AI is going to, solve lots of problems that we have currently. But in as much as it's solving lots of problems, it's going to create even more problems. So I think what we need to look for now is to try to be a problem solver. Don't just know tech, like try and solve the problems that are going on around, because you can just like write code, yes, but if they don't need anyone to write code anymore, you are going to AI is going to replace you.
Mhm.
But if you are going to
Absolutely.
be a problem solver, you are going to be thinking of new ways to solve whatever problem that you're faced with. Those are the people that are actually that's the skill that is going to be very valuable moving forward.
Absolutely. So I think we have to, just like Everest was saying, we have to think ahead of time. We have to think 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and look at, okay, what is this, you know, uh, industry going to look like? I mean, tech used to be the most secure industry ever for a very long time. I mean, if you're in tech, you are made. But right
Yes.
now, it's shaky. You can't really guarantee that. A lot of people are learning coding and they're still, not making it. So
Yeah.
I say it's about bringing, a market value into tech. Whatever you're doing, it should be very, very, let's say, sellable. It should have value. I mean, you can learn tech, you can learn coding. It's not just about learning a skill now. It's about having a set of skills that you can, sell out there that is valuable to the world. Now, AI has been there. AI has been in the market, has been in the world, but it was not in the fingertips of, lay people until ChatGPT came out. And with ChatGPT, anyone that doesn't know tech can just go and use ChatGPT. So this is why it's going to grow. I mean, look at metaverse. Metaverse requires hardware, lots of things. So it's not going to be very usable um, by lay people. So I question its longevity. We have Clubhouse that did not really innovate, and some of these things died. But once it is out there in the market for lay people, I can guarantee that it's going to last. It's going to grow. So AI is there, but now people have to think beyond just learning one skill. Uh, if they want to secure their jobs, they need to be in control of AI, not just use AI. Yeah, you want to say something? I mean, Everest, Emmanuel, uh, Jeremiah.
Oh, okay. You want to go first? You can go. So I was going to agree with Michael about problem solving. I think it boils down to that and ability to think critically. For example, I realized even using GPT, two people can use it and get two different results for a project. So knowing how to use it is still a very big factor to play. So I still think it's still going to act similar like when the internet first came, the web 2.0, I mean, when it first came out. I think people just got better at leveraging the power of internet better than other people. And still, people say like it's going to displace teaching. It may be to be doing maybe in the long run, but for now, I saw someone even the course how to use ChatGPT course. It's selling the course. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I still think it's not going to be as fast as we think, but it's not also still going to be as slow. I think those who can master the trend and capitalize on the opportunities still win. The A players will make the most money eventually. Those who can capitalize on the trends. So
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think to hit from where Jerry stops, because I want to share that really around that thoughts. Um, Capitalizing the trend. So today, if you look at, I was looking at this visualizer, or the difference, a very simple explanation of what Web 1 is, Web 2 is, and Web 3 is. So with Web 1, in a sign-in, probably wanted to sign into a platform, right? Or a Web 1 platform will ask you is username, password, right? Simple HTML form. A Web 2 platform will probably ask you email, password, or sign in with Google, right? Web 2. Web 3 will just tell you connect your wallet. Now, the difference with yeah, the difference with three of them, right, is like he said, capitalizing on what is happening today. So you saw him saying someone selling AI courses. Now the problem with human beings is, and that's why AI comes from the win now, is everybody will go and do the same thing. Now you see like 20 people teaching you how to outbid the other person, teaching you how to use ChatGPT. Right.
Yeah.
Well, even before ChatGPT, there was Sonic AI. There are a lot of them. Like, in fact, there's an AI solution right now that literally on their website they tell you we are 20% more accurate than ChatGPT. Right. Use us so you
Wow.
can test it. Right. So I think really eventually would be just with how I explained the differences between Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. Today, most of our businesses here, for example, you would just say simple sign in with Google. For example, if you don't want to put in your email and password, you leverage the Web 2 infrastructure that exists today. 10 years from today, you might have these platforms probably even using Connect Wallet. It doesn't make sense today, but it will make sense then. But so it still goes down to like you said, capitalizing on what is happening. So, for example, AI has come out now, but in Africa, for example, we have an educational deficit, right? What are the ways we can use AI in real life platforms to solve it, right? So I remember back when I was probably in SS3, right? Access to, I think most of us used it. I think it's the SS3 or I think GS3 where you use this Google book, right? And
Yeah.
you had to wait every year, right, for new questions to come. And even sharing with Jerry, like, with
Mhm.
if you had an app platform, I don't share anybody's idea here though, but you have an edtech app platform that basically can the questions of every single year, right? And can even predict to you the kind of questions
Yeah.
based on the trend of questions that have been set, the kind of questions that
Yeah.
can even come. So teaching people, like, in that particular kind of way, right? Those kind of tools can be really used for education. So it's not really about jumping to get a job or just coding, like Michael said, right? The problem solvers, the people that will capitalize on using what is taking their jobs to actually create new jobs,
Yeah,
will be the
yeah.
people that will win eventually, and not even the ones trying to sell the course. So yeah.
So
Because
I
I
wanted
think
to.
there's a okay. There was a so I think you can even create some videos using ChatGPT. So as
Yeah.
ChatGPT and some other
Yeah.
AI,
Yeah.
you combine it and you can make videos for your for your courses as well.
Yeah. That's
Ex-
Yeah,
actually
cool.
true.
exactly.
I was going to say something that Everest also said, and
Right.
it made me think of something actually, which was that eventually, at the end of the day, the main purpose of AI, right, is to make sure that we are solving that right problem. Because right now, for
Yeah.
example, when I saw this new platform that came out, Be Real, there's a new social media platform that's taking Be Real. I don't know if you guys know Be Real. It's basically a platform that just lets you post once a day, I think, or twice a day. I can't remember. Like it's an instant platform. Like it just pops on your phone and says, like, post right now what you're doing right now. And the funny thing is, it has millions of users already. So, like, what I
True.
made me started thinking about was how it's going to be very hard to predict how AI is going to affect us, even if we have an idea. But eventually, it's always going to follow. Are you solving what people really want you to solve? Remember, like
Yeah.
Wise's mantra, make something people want.
People want, yeah.
So eventually, this all like humans are going to still place the limits on what we think AI and AI should not do, depending on how we think is going to affect what we want as human beings. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So it just whoever can use AI to give human beings what they want is who eventually wins.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
and we have a
Great.
ChatGPT checker, so that broke my heart. But no problem.
All right. All right. That's great. So now coming to the final question. Um, what's the way forward for aspiring tech professionals? How can they secure, you know, their future in tech? Let's say their jobs, their careers in tech. I mean, ChatGPT, ChatGPT is not the first AI chatbot that is out. I mean, there's Copy AI, but those ones were monetized. ChatGPT came, it was free. It brought about disruption in the AI world. So people just looked at it as, oh, AI is, booming now, but it's always been there and it's evolving. So with all of this now, how can how can people utilize this and how can we secure our future? I mean, we started mentioning some of them, so let's outline them so that our viewers can have something to take home.
I think Michael actually had said it at the beginning of the call. Really, like, utilizing your skills to the next level, so you won't just be a basic programmer and want to do the things that existed before chat gpt came on the scene. But very, very importantly, just to put in context, um the days of AI taking people's jobs has not come, right? The reason why most of these companies are laying people off is because of the bear market currently happening. It's not really even the AI stuff. So the AI stuff just happened to come in that period. So the devs or the people that lost their tech jobs this period, really, is as a result of bear markets, and most of them left fine companies. So we're probably going to see some of the most disruptive companies going to be built in the next 10 years because of these people that are currently unemployed on the market. But ahead of the time where AI will actually come for low level jobs, like you guys talked about, like finding that person that will normally come and scrap your website. And I was thinking about the days I used to still do do freelancer on freelancer.com, probably like 2015, 2016. I was just thinking, imagine there was ChatGPT back then. As the guy just does, those Indians didn't give us any space to do anything, right? But today, honestly, the advice would be, like he said, to get prepared for that is upskill. The second one to me is really leveraging what people would feel, which is AI that will take their jobs. That's supposed enemy as a tool to actually upskill and build for the future. So yeah, those are my opinions.
Great, thank you very much. All right, Michael, you want to re-emphasize?
Everest has said it. I mean, and I already said the first one. Try and start looking for problems around you that you can solve. Like we have all been saying, basically, like leverage the tools around you to solve the problems around you. That's basically what we can just try to be doing. And I think Everest also mentioned upskill. Like, just this is the time to keep learning, keep learning the new technologies that are coming out, because that's what will help you. And it's not, even though you lose your job, you have those skills. The skills are going to forever be with you. So as long as you're upskilled, like now there are people using AI, even trying to integrate AI into your own website. Maybe you are building some. I think I saw recently Microsoft Teams. They integrated ChatGPT into Microsoft Teams, so it can help you analyze the meeting and then give you the notes. So if you miss a meeting, you can get the notes, the important parts, of the meeting. So they are those are
$1 billion is worth it.
Yeah. Microsoft will probably get ChatGPT.
So you see, like those are just things that we can just focus on. Trying how can I use this AI, like you have been saying, how can I use this AI to actually help me make better decisions or write code better. Like there are even some AIs like GitHub Copilot that helps you as you're writing code. It makes you 10 times more efficient. So all those kind of things, maybe inline, or is it in code ChatGPT, where you can when you're writing code and you don't know how to do something, just ask write a question and then you get a Stack Overflow answer, or something. Like there are lots of ways that these things can help you.
Yeah.
So just taking some time out and just learning how to use them, it's going to be really important in this time. Yeah.
Wow, thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they've said it all. So, so I would just say, like as Michael said, it's going to be in the integration. I think the future of AI is in letting us spend less time thinking about the minor stuff and focus on the major stuff. So just like how when Uber launched, everybody started creating Uber for this, Uber for that. I think that's what's going to happen with AI. Everybody will begin to figure out a way to infuse AI into everything, AI powered, don't have to. So just like he was saying with Microsoft, now Microsoft is going to integrate ChatGPT because they want you to spend lesser time thinking of the minor things and, more times thinking of the major things. And then from integration, it's going to lead to that transformation whereby it's going to get to a point where it will be normal for everybody to just spend less time. It's going to be a period now, like now, why am I trekking when I can Uber it? Like, do you get my point? It's going to get to that level where you don't want to use any platform that would bring any effort from you at all. And then that will lead to the innovation where we'll begin to see more crazier stuff, that we haven't even started to think about, yet. And I think making ChatGPT free, I don't even know how they want to monetize it again, because bro, now that it's free.
It's $20 now, bro.
I use this money. It's still free.
Don't worry. They will soon. Your this thing, my own has been. They told me $20. Like
I think it's still under research. So it's still under research, and
Yeah.
GPT-4 is coming out. So it's under research. Yeah.
Well, I
So
think I don't know if pricing it, like Google made it free, right? And I think if Google's coming for Microsoft, they are going to make. I
How
heard they
the
are
risk
building
coming?
Sparrow or something called Sparrow. I don't know. They
What's
said
the
it's
open
better than
AI?
ChatGPT. If it's free, then it's going to be a huge problem. Because I don't know if I'll pay $20 shot. I don't know. I think I will.
Don't worry now. Trying to answer
all
revenue
right.
model.
I mean, guys, look at what one of our viewers is saying. Emmanuel, it says one of my fears for the upcoming developer is that they will be too lazy because they will depend on AI to generate everything for them. What do you have to say about this?
Um,
I don't think that. Okay, go for it, Michael. Sure.
yeah, I can start with that, like saying like that's the it's helpful. It's just like a tool. You should use it as a tool, but don't depend on the tool for everything. Like with what we have today. I remember when we got we stopped writing code in Notepad and we started writing code in like modern compilers. People were saying, "Oh, it will not be able to debug. You'll not be able to write good code. You need to write in Notepad so that you know if you're the actual good programmer." But these things actually they help us. They help us write
Mm-hmm.
better code, things that are better. They help us. So it's, of course, people will just go and copy and paste those ones. We're not talking about those. We're talking about people who are going to actually like use it to the fullest. Use it to their advantage, not
Yeah.
just not looking for an easy way out. And of course, we don't want
Yeah.
people to also spend days thinking about the solution to a problem, where you can just ask ChatGPT. You're going to save yourself a lot of time, in all of with that. So yeah, that's my take on
Great.
that. Anyway.
Okay. Ever,
Yeah,
so
I
you see
think.
something?
Yeah, I think Michael really hit it because even the chat GPT, right? I've seen people ask some really probably dumb questions to it, and I'm like, Coco, just tell the team brush my teeth in the morning. But
Well, I can't lie. I have also asked some very stupid
yeah,
questions. So we'll move on. Let's
yeah.
move
Yeah,
on.
So I think even as devs, like Mike said, is really to make your life easier. There, for example, there was this stuff I needed to do for debugging, right? And I really needed to find. And you're talking about the blockchain, right? So it's you can't afford to make some kind of mistakes, right? So as small questions, as little questions as what are the vulnerabilities, right, that you can see in this code, and is able to outline things even after you've done everything. You're like, this is solid, right?
yeah,
So something you'd have probably gone to go and pay a bounty developer for
Yeah,
$10,000,
yeah,
$20,000, you
yeah.
reduce cost, right? So you as like that's why I said at the end of the day, being able to use it to upskill, right? You're adding value to yourself as a developer because now you're not just writing code, you're able to you've even transitioned from maybe just being a full stack or blockchain developer to even becoming a bounty developer at the same time. You've upskilled, right? More value to yourself because you're able to even use ChatGPT. So even using ChatGPT itself requires that skill and knowledge because there's some things that you will ask it. If you don't put some certain terminologies, you'll probably not get the results you're looking for or what you're trying to do. So yeah.
Great. Great. Thank you. Very insightful.
All right.
So yeah,
Okay. So I
I
was going to
mean,
say,
okay, go ahead.
sorry, my stuff is hanging. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
yeah.
we
We
can
can
Yes,
hear
hear
you.
yes. Go ahead.
Okay, okay, okay. I was going to say, just like the days when people started learning to program, right? Big tech companies started hiring high-level developers. And I think developing is just like programming is just basically learning how to talk to the computer. So I think and I think it's going to be the same with AI. They're going to become
you.
specialized people that actually know how to interact with AI better than other people will do. And I think for programmers, it's going to actually separate real problem solvers.
Skill gap.
Just like a bomb, also when the more sophisticated the bomb is, the more you need a specialized
Person.
person to be able to diffuse the bomb. I think
Yeah.
we're going to get to an age where because I'm still waiting for when people begin to say this is a virus. I'm serious. it's not going to be perfect as people think it is. It's going to be still holes in which
Yep.
we still require some, level of capabilities to be able to fix. And that's what I'm even looking forward to the most. When you start hearing things like, I'm looking for a AI whisperer or something.
Yeah,
I'm
or
being serious.
ChatGPT AI specialist.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry, yes, those things are gonna happen, right?
Because of-
Those things are gonna happen. We're still gonna have to need people to control AI, but is it gonna be for everybody or for a select few? That is the thing.
It, I mean, everything has always been for a select few. Every high-paying job, like even if you look at how many people can program in this world, the real programmers, they're not still as much as the people that cannot program. Everything has always been for a select few, and I think the world is optimized that way. No matter how much innovation comes in the world, it's still going to optimize to balance itself out. There's still going to be that 1%. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
But
Just like
there's gonna be a problem. There's gonna be a problem finding this select few, because that's the problem that happened with the digital skills gap. Now, when you have graduates coming out of
yeah,
university and they are not able to meet up with the demands of tech companies, then we have a big problem.
yes, and then now
So
graduates will have to learn
this is
like
why we need to
plumbing, electricity, like going to repair. I'm serious. That was going to happen eventually. People will go back and start learning how to repair people's pump. Because I'm serious, because I think I watched a video on TikTok where the woman was saying there's something called boring businesses and how she has become so successful by acquiring boring businesses, and saying how every year by year there's shortage of people that wants to do plumbing. Because everybody's a TikToker, everybody's doing OnlyFans. Now everybody's a gamer now, everybody's a programmer, nobody's spending time plumbing. And I think that was going to happen. It's going to now, people are going to start learning how to do, if you cannot do the high like skill, if you cannot learn it at that level, you will come and work at this level. So it's going to be, and as Mr. Ibrahim said, like that space is going to be there. But now we're going to re-enter the age of educating, like what happened in the previous digital age where Facebook is paying this amount of money to teach people. Like it's going to I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So I
Yeah,
think that's how I see it
yeah.
moving.
yeah,
No,
I do agree. I agree with that. We'll definitely have that skill gap, happen where people who spend more time on it, will capitalize on that, and then the gap is going to increase more and more, and then it's up to the people who have gained those knowledge, maybe universities as well, to actually start, make improve their syllabus, start including
Yeah,
AI
yeah.
and cloud computing and
forget
data
the
analytics
universities.
into
A
the
lot of them are way
syllabus.
behind.
yeah, very, very great question. You guys
Yeah,
come
very, very way
into a
behind.
because
Very way behind.
Very behind.
I literally saw it. Like literally saw it.
No,
You guys
before
think
even before AI, and because you see, the educational institutions don't function by themselves. They function together with the government, some of them, and they follow
Yeah,
a set of rules and guidelines, to
guidelines.
abide by. And for them to change it, you have to go to the top to change it. And the people in the top, usually traditional people who are not into this. They're just paper signing, kind of people. So
Yeah,
they don't really see the need for that. Until they see the need for that, uh, especially until it hits them in an economic way, that's when they will want to
it's
make a
true.
change.
yeah,
It's true.
I think it even has to do, like you said, the government and the countries. Like for example, I know in the US, they already started doing research papers on, apart some were doing developing, ChatGPT 3 checkers. And the amazing thing about it is that on the opposite side, there are schools that are creating, stuff that will stop ChatGPT checkers from checking that it's ChatGPT, so you can see. But yeah, that actually was very funny. Like it's happening. So I think the smart schools really what they are doing is because most of the schools around the world today really it's a money making machine, right? Like you discover that
Absolutely.
yeah, it's a money making machine. Like you're a full stack developer today. You can go to Code Academy, right? Learn like you have that direct path in school. You're doing this, unnecessary courses, that you probably won't ever use. But that's that this when like I said, the AI revolution has not started. This is just to just show people that okay, it can be
Yeah,
used
it's
when
possible.
it has really been embedded into society. I believe like the schools, Harvard and Co, that are already waiting for research purpose to embed into their system, right? It will be different for them. Because I was thinking about, I was like, back in 2015 or 2016, there are certain things that, I just knew that if I didn't read, there's no way I was going to find it. Just one line of ChatGPT, it will teach you, it won't give you steps. So I think
Yeah, yeah,
eventually, if these schools don't catch up, they are, these AI is their real. I
Yeah,
think especially education is their own day of reckoning. If
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
It's going to bring disruption to the. It's already bringing disruption to the educational institutions. I mean, the mode of learning has changed. People no longer need to. I mean, if you want to do your homeworks today, we have all the resources. So there's almost no need for homeworks because you're not really doing work. You're just being at home and using Chat GPT, using AI, but you're not really doing the work. So
Yeah,
why are we still writing exams? I mean,
yeah.
why not give
I
us
think
projects where you do real work?
yeah, that's definitely a solid point there. Like model of teaching and educating has to change. Like you can't just keep giving homeworks, pointless homeworks that they are. I mean, some of them actually have a point because they have some things they are trying to teach. But you can't just give students work just to keep them busy. If you're able to show them, okay, the reason why you are learning this is so that you can do this, then it makes learning better. You're going to be like, okay, I have to sit down and learn how to do this, not just write an essay about something. The
I
the
don't
chat.
think they don't know this thing you're saying. They do. Like I said, it's a money making industry. It's not
no, no,
for
no.
it's
It's
not for
and that
Public
thing
care.
too is, and that
the
thing too is, I think what's going to happen, how I see it, is that the education institution is going to have to decentralized. That's how I see it. I think they're going to investigate for real, innovative companies to maybe take a chunk of department. Or how I see it is them open their gates and the schools now being like a
Ex-
canopy for people to enter and they will sell spaces for innovation. That's how I see it. And so what is going to happen is teachers themselves, like most teachers, they have outdated way of teaching. And I think it's because innovation is going faster than these teachers can teach what they know, right? So I think the teachers will have to be the innovators themselves eventually, right? So what is going to happen is that decentralization, where now the school will be like, okay, we have maybe 15 spots, and then innovative companies comes to lobby for those spots to say, okay, we can set up here. This one say we can set up here. If you want to learn how to do this, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. I think that's going to be the future of education. I think them Harvard and all these people,
Absolutely.
for
they will
innovative
Absolutely.
either
schools.
have to,
We put the
yes,
clause there for
exactly.
innovative
It's
schools
For
Innovative.
it's
innovative
actually
schools, yes.
because
called
you're taking their business model away from them. What you just literally explained, is you're telling it's like EMB, like nothing for you.
But
it's
that's what's going to
actually
happen
called
eventually.
yeah, it's called the modern campus. I mean, not physical campus, but like
Hmm.
the mode of teaching where it's performance is based on competency and not exam.
Yeah.
And instead of exams you have projects, and not kind of project you can copy, something that is unique to you. So at the end of the day, before you graduate, you really graduated, you really did
Hmm.
work to graduate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but a lot of people are still using the traditional way of teaching. They just give you work, come and write exam, you finish. And I always had a problem with that because everybody is unique. Everybody has a different way of learning. Some people learn slower than others. Some people learn by writing. Some people learn by reading. Some people, I mean, there are some people, I remember I had this classmate that he comes very late to class. He just sits down. He doesn't take notes, but he passes. And I'm wondering, like, how do you do this? And then there are some of us who have to write notes, who have to go to the library, and people are different. So if the mode of education does not accommodate other people, just kind of accommodates people that want they have to follow everything they're saying, there will be no growth and they will be disrupted. And AI is here, so people that have been ignored by this traditional way of teaching are taking advantage of the AI and short courses, and they're building themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, I was even going to add that I think someone mentioned something in the chat about the institutions themselves can take advantage of these technologies. There are some of their assignments that are really pointless because the teacher maybe didn't think about it, or they have an old assignments handed down to the teacher. But if you're going to ask Chat GPT to give me a good assignment that will actually test these points of the students, or even exam questions, for example, you just some exam questions, they don't really test anything. They're just questions 1 to 60. But then if you actually make exam questions that actually test, the competence of the student, the things they have learned. And of course, exams should not be the test of intelligence. It should be just the test of if this person has truly learned, what he has what he has learned during the semester. But I mean, that's another way that this technology, AI, can also be used, to help learning even better.
But I'm going to say something. Then again, for example, most teachers or professors are not even really happy with their pay. So maybe that they don't really spend as much efforts that they should, even in making sure that okay, these students are, they get exactly what they give. Like you said about passing down old assignments. Means if you are paying me 10,000 TL, for example, a month to teach, I will pass down everything, like everything. I'll pass it down. You get, because it's not really what I don't know if I won't kill myself over you learning when you're
Yeah,
the
I
pay.
I
So
also want like
I
yeah.
a part of me think like maybe school might just get more expensive moving forward if that modern campus style is integrated. I think of it in that kind of sense because
Um,
now they're going to have to pay
I
teachers
don't
what they are
think
worth. They're
so.
going to pay people that really know this stuff. Do you get my point?
yeah.
Good amount of money to actually come and spend your time and teach in that innovative way that is being required.
Well,
I
okay.
don't know if
I
you
don't
understand what I'm
really
saying.
think so. I don't really
Yeah, I don't
think
think
so
so. Yeah,
because
yeah.
now, the traditional way of education, it was as though it monopolized knowledge. Now knowledge is available to everybody.
Mm-hmm,
So if the teacher
mm-hmm.
doesn't want, there is, it's now in the hands with AI and everything. It's in the hands of the consumers. Let me say. So knowledge is in the hands of people. It's no longer in the hands of institutions.
Web three. I think I
Well, it's
think
in the hands of people, but
yeah.
but sorry, but let me just say this. It's in the hands of people, but
Okay.
how I see it is it's actually a very small number of people that can learn on their own. Like from what I began to understand,
Sure.
it's actually a very small number of people, and that's what actually makes the most um competent people in the world. The people that can take on a challenge on their own, learn what is required fast enough, and come out and compete, right? And I think that's why even till today, I'm telling you, parents know that sending their kids to school right now is kind of a waste of time. They do know, but they don't have any other alternatives than to actually send their kids to school
Yeah.
because at least school gives them certainty
It's
that this
because of
kid
fear.
will actually, yeah, we actually go and see something or hear something. Now, buy a course for somebody, 3 months to be there. Do that not finish the course that's supposed to be 4 weeks
Yeah.
or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So it's still going to you're still going to need someone that will push you, that will force you, that will threaten you if required for you to learn what you need to learn.
By the
Yeah.
time
Well,
by the
I
time
think
you're hungry, you
yeah,
don't have a choice.
yeah, yeah. But I think just to add to that, just to really add to that whole model, there are, like Jerry said, I will address that part of it too as well for those people that don't really know how to learn on their own and really how to go to school. Now everyone has a part to play. It's not just not just the schools,
Hmm.
but on the school model, for example, companies, innovative companies in Africa like Outschool Africa, right? They had raised, I think, about $1 million, I think, last year, last 2 years, to basically allow people come and learn how to code. It's a school. You literally get a certificate from a university in the US through them, right? So you actually go to school. So it just lasts for a year, something that will probably get your contemporaries 4 years, and you'll come out and still not really do anything, right? You're doing it for a year and you probably get a placement. And then they now expanded it to a school of products, to a school of data science, and they're expanding it really across more tech fields.
Yeah.
But you know like Jerry said, that's room more suited for people because you school on you basically come online, probably dedicate a number of hours every week. It's something very similar to ALX, and you basically learn, and they do it based on competence. At the end of the semester, you do a project and all of that. But now that's not even expensive. I think it's probably 10,000 naira for registration and all of that. It's not expensive, but when you go to when you now have to reverse it to those people that don't know how to learn alone and can't follow those kind of systems, I feel if we need to go to the class, right? I don't totally even just blame it on even salaries too as well. That is a problem. That's a concern. We should be fixed too. But at the same time, I used to crack this joke with my guys. I'm like, you see this CEO thing I'm doing. If I just make money, I just buy one school. I'll tell you, if you're above 40 years old and you're in this school, if you don't learn this thing, see, we will let you go. So sometimes these teachers don't want to learn new things, right? You hear things like, I've done this for 20 years, like this, right? So, and it has basically worked for them. So I think schools too need to now do refresher training programs, not the ones they do where they come and sit down and teach them how to use Microsoft Word and Excel. No. If you're probably teaching computer engineering or computer science, what are the new stacks? These guys don't know, but they're teaching people that you can, compete with their contemporaries outside in the market. So for those people that want to learn together, that are better suited to learn where people are, the people teaching them, right? Because even if you introduce these new methods of teaching, like Jerry said, having everybody has a spot, but when you have all these spots, these teachers are still there, right? So I think these people themselves need to go through a period of, if you've probably taught for 30 years, you probably will need to go through 30 years of tech stack development. Some people still teach, I'm kidding you not, HTML5. I don't want to cast anybody, HTML5 today, right? So like it's really sad. It's really, really sad. I saw it and I'm like, and you ask people questions based on this, and you feel somebody based on this and say you went to school, right? It's sad. So I think so I think these people themselves, if you are above 40 years old right now, 2023, all of them, just tell everybody, you see this, all of you are going, you yourselves are going to school. Bring these tech professionals that are doing this, let them teach them how to do it, right? And I think from there, it opens up their mind. The school system will become more interesting again. So the school system during the industrial age was interesting to those people then because everything they saw in the book was around, there was no access to computers. So what you are seeing in your book was what you just needed to know so you could go into the industry. But those things the technology hasn't replaced some of the things they teach them, right? So you're really learning things that you will never use. That's what we really mean by I will never use this. It's not just the certificate, the information, you will never use it because you don't need to use it, right? So I think these people need to go through training programs too as well, learn new stacks. They should go and become full stack developers, not computer science teacher. Understand how to do it, and I think it will change.
Well, thank you. About that, it's I will say it's not going to be so easy for, let's say,
Definitely.
the demographic, those people are above 40 to go and start learning coding, but there's room for everyone else, for everybody. One of the things about tech is, especially recently, that it's not just about coding that matters, but we all need to know how to align the coding with business skills. And you see, there is also a way of teaching. There's a way of teaching adults. The way you teach adults, there's a way you teach young people, people below 30, in their 20s. There's a way you teach them. There's something called an adult education. You're not gonna sit down, you're not gonna have, people above 40s in a classroom setting and you're teaching them. There's a way you can set up an arrangement of people. Let's have a roundtable session and where you are discussing, you are researching. You see, with researching is more of an adult kind of adult model of education where everybody research, we brainstorm, you learn. That is a more friendlier and mature and interesting way of learning for them, because everyone now has to use his own. And then when we bring in group work together, they have to use their own abilities and tap from another person's ability and learn. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I was going.
we don't have much time. Well,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
after you, we'll now have to say like
I
one
wanted to, say.
word before we close.
I wanted to say like just two or three. Okay, two things. first of all, there are people who teach, directly out of passion. They're probably not leaning on money or any of all those things. And if they are passionate enough, they'll probably, also go and learn those things. And the other thing also is like school is not totally like the things that they teach are also like basics. And we can't just dump the basics and say, we want to go and learn how to write code for Microsoft. No, like you need to actually know the basics. Like you need to know how to do the basics, because those basics will really help you even scale up. Because if you think about it, the people who learned the basics are the ones building this massive technology that we have right now. They didn't just learn how to use AI. They actually had to start from, the C++ or basics, machine learning, all those difficult things. So like they all go hand in hand. We should not just I think we should have schools that teach advanced stuff if you want to do advanced stuff, if you're tired of the basic stuff. And we also have schools that also teach, the basic, if you want to learn, if you just want to learn the basic level, because we need people to just know basics. Like we need people
Yeah.
to just know how to like make a website page or something. We just need those. We need those as well. So just in case, we need those different levels of teaching and understanding. Really, yeah.
Great, thank you. Well, this brings us to the end of our fireside chat for today. I would like to say thank you to every one of you. But before we go, I will just everyone should just give us one word for the people watching, how to secure their jobs in the future. One word, and then we close. All right, let's start with Everest, then Michael, and Jerry.
Okay.
I think my girl.
You are muted. Okay.
Say one word.
Um, and
I mean,
like I said, upskill, be a problem solver. That's it. It lies down deep in you. This is not a book quote; it's the truth. It lies in you, right? Yeah. So just
all right. Upskill and be a problem solver. Thank you so much, Everest, for being with us today. All right, Michael.
Yeah, I'm going to just do what Everest has said. Solve problems. Uh, what was the next one? He said, it's okay, solve problems and keep learning. Those are the two things. Just keep in mind.
All right. So it's actually that simple.
Okay.
So let's not let the AI not scare us. Jerry.
Me, I would say environment as one word. Invest in your environment. It's very difficult learning it by yourself. It's very difficult catching up with trends on your own. But if you're around the environment, it's easier for you. So your friends, where you hang out, the places you go to, hang out with more innovative people, more creative minds. Spend more time, maybe attending webinars like this, conferences for tech. I think this helps you keep yourself sharp and stay, on the trend.
Great. Thank you. From me, I would say be exceptional. You don't have to do everything what you don't have to do what everybody is doing. You can find your own thing and master
Exceptional.
it. So master whatever you are doing, even if you're out of the competition. Whatever you're doing, you should master it. Don't just be a blue collar worker or someone that just has theoretical knowledge. Mix the two of them. Be a master. Be a leader in what you do, and use AI as well. So don't say, "Oh, this is not for you." Always enjoy learning these things. You never know where it's gonna take you. So yes, thank you so much everybody for joining. Our viewers, thank you for joining our panelists, Everest, Michael, Jerry. It was
Yeah.
exciting having you guys here, and I could tell that our viewers enjoyed hearing you guys. So
Thank you for
we're
having
gonna
me.
call you guys.
Thank
We're
you
gonna
for
call you guys
having
again
us.
soonest.
thank you
Yeah.
so
All
much.
right. Yes, yes, yes,
All
yes,
right,
yes.
guys.
Thanks, and do have an amazing evening. This
Thank you.
video is
Thank
Yeah.
gonna
you.
be available on YouTube, so you can still share it, and people can also go and get it and share as well. So yes, thank you, and do have an amazing evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.